Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much to everybody that was just watching the live with Jeff. And now we have Rick with us. Welcome, Rick.
Hi, everybody.
So all of you have met Rick a couple different times. We've had him on the Merch Money Show twice, I think, at least. And he is the creator of Merch Wizard and KDP Wizard. And he has helped so much with all of our organization and handling all of these thousands of files that we have for print on demand. So really appreciate it and appreciate you coming on today. So thank you.
No, you're welcome. Yeah, I've been creating tools for quite a while, and some of the older ones as well, which the new people on Merch by Amazon might not remember the old single product days, but there was things like batch editor, batch uploader, and stuff like that. So
yeah. Well, I had been I had worked with databases in my old job, and I was like, I need a database for all of these files, and I had tried to contact. Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting the name of it. That's how much I'm just Merch Wizard now. I don't even remember names of old databases. But I had tried to contact the database I used to use, and they were like, oh, that sounds too complicated. We can't do all that. And then like a few months later, you came out with Merch Wizard. And I'm like, oh my gosh, my prayers have been answered. It was exactly what I was looking for, but also a lot more that I hadn't even thought of. So super, super appreciative. So we've talked about all different aspects of Merch Wizard. Today, our main focus is going to be how to use Merch Wizard in conjunction with OrbitKit. So for anybody who was watching earlier, we talked all about the benefits of OrbitKit. So now we're going to talk about how to use Merch Wizard to help even more automate the process of using OrbitKit. So do you want to share your screen and help show us how to use it?
Sure.
Perfect.
Okay.
I really, I had dragged my feet on using OrbitKit before this. I had actually been intimidated by using that software and hadn't used it. And then once you came out with this integration to OrbitKit, all of a sudden it seemed so much easier to me, and now I use it.
Cool. Right, let me share the screen.
Oh, sorry. I have to add it on. I keep forgetting. And guys, these are two separate programs, so you don't have to have both. You can have just Merch Wizard or you can have just OrbitKit, but they do work together. So if you do have both, that's what this is for.
Sweet. All right. Well, I was lurking in the previous live, so I know that Jeff's done a good job of covering the main kind of overview of what OrbitKit is and where we might fit in. But I think it is useful just to kind of say from the merch perspective where people can go from a standing start and get up and running on the system fairly quickly. So I'll just give a little overview. It's fairly straightforward, and then I'll go on to do a demonstration of it.
Perfect.
All right, so if you are a Merch by Amazon seller, you're basically over here with hundreds or thousands of designs on Merch by Amazon, and you kind of got all your eggs in one basket, which is good because it's a good basket, and it can be pretty rewarding, but also you're potentially missing out on some other income that you could get from putting your designs that you've already created, already spent the time doing the listing data for. You could take those designs out from Amazon and push them out to several other print-on-demand platforms. And those platforms support all sorts of different products and also places that you can use to plug into things like Etsy shops and all sorts of other stuff. So it's really useful, and I think in general it's obviously a good idea to get a maximum return on investment, whether that's your time doing the designs and listing the data, putting the data together for the listings themselves, or whether you've paid for a designer. You want to try and make as much money off that one design as you can.
Yeah, and real quick before you go forward, I was definitely one of those people that just had designs just on merch. And part of that was because I felt like I was going to be disorganized if I started like uploading a design here, uploading a design there. I felt like I'd just be like all over the place and not know what designs I had on each platform. And I thought about making an Excel spreadsheet. I'm like, I'm not going to be able to keep up with this. It's going to be just out of control. So what was really nice is all my designs were pushed to Merge Wizard. So that's all organized, it has a PNG file, has the data, has the tags. And then you can tell when it's pushed to OrbitKit. So now you have a record of what designs are on what platform. So that by itself, just the organization of it was what really sold me on getting designs on all the other platforms.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So yeah, essentially at high level, we are taking all your hard work from Merch by Amazon. We're automating the pushing of that to Merch Wizard, and then from Merch Wizard, we can push that out onto to OrbitKit as well. There's no CSV files or anything like that required. You can push through what's called an API, so just systems will talk to each other. You don't have to worry about spreadsheet formats and other things like that.
Basically, it's set up for people like me that want it to be as simple as possible.
Yeah, it's about as easy as it gets now, and a big opportunity, I think, as well.
Huge opportunity. Teresa's asking, do I use OrbitKit to put designs on Etsy with Printful? I'm trying to wrap my head around it. That is possible, yes. Me personally, I had an Etsy store and I put it on vacation and I never took it off vacation. So that is just me personally. I'm not using that platform, which I should be. It's not a great thing that I'm not doing it. I just felt like I wanted to spend my time on other platforms first, because Etsy, you have to have customer service, and I just felt like I didn't have the time right now. So, but yes, you can do that.
Ready?
Yes, go ahead.
Cool. So for those people that haven't seen Merch Wizard before, this is it. You get a bar at the top here. Now the push to OrbitKit is an elite tier feature. We do have some other tiers below that, and you can get started for free. In the free tier, you can push all these products up to Airtable, but then to kind of really get the best out of it and utilize all the data you've got in there, you're going to need to kind of upgrade to a premium tier, basically. And it's the elite one that has got the OrbitKit integration in there. Right, so we won't cover the too much about setting up Merch Wizard or the basics of it, but you can imagine that what we're doing here is we're taking all your Merch by Amazon listings, or the ones that you select to push up anyway, we're taking those and pushing them up to a system called Airtable, which is like a spreadsheet meets a database in the cloud on steroids. It's very easy to use, but also very powerful as well. And it also has an API, so we can talk to the API from a Merch by Amazon page and scrape the data from your listing and push that directly into your own copy of what the term is a base. You might think of it as a spreadsheet. Looks a bit like this when it's empty, and it has all the fields in there that you might expect around the title of a product, a brand, bullets, price, and all that sort of stuff. And we'll see when we do a push to Airtable, we'll see these populating in real time. Okay, so there's a quick setup guide on the website and other things on there. If you just go on here, you'll see a quick setup guide, and I think you can be up and running in 3 or 4 minutes, really. So let's pretend that we've done all the setup and we've got our Merch Wizard now talking to our Airtable base over here. Let me just move that across. What you do is you go to the Manage page, and using the buttons at the top here, we can choose to push these products to Airtable. So I've just done a search for the some whale designs. So these are a multi-design or multi-product creator designs that are on various different products or product types. And you can add these to Airtable individually, or you can push a page at a time. or if you're an elite subscriber, you get this automatic sync, which basically pushes, you get the choice to push a marketplace at a time. You can search in here to say, I'm going to just push up my whale niche products and that sort of stuff, but let's get on to pushing the products to Airtable and show you what that looks like. So it opens up the product page on Amazon, and it opens up the designs that are there as well in the multi-product creator. If we have a look at the base, we'll see these rows being added in real time. So there should altogether be 15 products coming in. Now, some of them are part of multi-product created design. So that means, and what we have in Merch Wizard is a centralized designs table. So if it is one of those, instead of storing the designs against each of the rows, because it would actually be the same design, the same graphic, the same artwork, we create a designs record in here, which might be a bit difficult to see at that point. And let's click on one of these, and we store the artwork in the designs table, which you can link to, and Merch Wizard does this automatically for you. It links.
Let me just stop you for 1 second. Guys, did you see how fast all of that information got pushed to this database or this Airtable? It's so, because I had been thinking about setting up an Excel spreadsheet. It would have taken forever to like copy and paste bullets, save the PNG file to it, keep track of which platform it's on. This just got all pushed from Merch. It's all ready to go. All right, go ahead. Just had to highlight that. I can't believe how much information is right there, and it took 2 seconds.
Yeah. So yeah, it does a lot. I mean, you take it for granted after a while, but just briefly, then yeah, you're right. It does take all the text fields up there, and it takes all the colors. If I had any good designs, we'd get, I've got a BSR against some of them up here.
You're like, if my design sold, then we'd have data also, and that's true. You have all the sales data as well. It's amazing.
Yeah. So we get the reviews in there as well. So for free, you can find out which designs or which products, have sold, and any that have got reviews and stuff like that. You just get a copy of this database for free. You push all your stuff up, and hopefully then the light bulb goes off in your mind, and you see how useful it is to have it outside of what is a challenging system, should we say, to use sometimes within the Merch dashboard. It's difficult to find things and manage your portfolio of listings efficiently. So yeah, and there is another bit here where you'll see sold, cancelled, and royalties and numbers in there. Those figures get updated when you do update sales stats. And those you should really run once you've pushed all the products that you're going to push to Airtable. Once you've done that, then run the update sales. All right. I guess another thing that we take for granted is we grabbed a thumbnail from the product page from here as well, but also we are scraping the full-size artwork up to the designs table. So this is the 4500 by 5400 full-size PNG file, which is very useful, obviously, to have a backup of that anyway. So there it is, 4500, 5400. So yeah, it's actually available there on your edit pages. And once we realized that, we realized we could also push it up to Airtable. And if you've got a hoodie or a pop socket, it will push those up as well. So it's kind of backing up your entire Merch account pretty efficiently into the listings that you've got, the designs that you've got. And if they are old single, I say old, not that old, but the old single products, then you will get a PNG file in this column here in the listing table. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. What we're doing now is taking from our Merch by Amazon account and copying out the data and the artwork into a separate system, into your own Airtable account. So Merch Wizard doesn't own Airtable. I wish we did. It's a multi-billion pound enterprise, but it's a third-party system like Google Sheets, except it's one that you have control of yourself, and you get an API key, you plug it into Merge Wizard, and that allows Merge Wizard to talk to your Airtable base on your behalf.
And guys, I see your questions, but we're just gonna hold the questions for a little bit and just have them go through this just a little bit more, and then we'll answer them all.
Yeah. All right, so as far as the process goes, what we'll have done then is push from Merge by Amazon into Merge Wizard. So that's great, but really the focus of today's live is to talk about how you get your designs and listing data out to OrbitKit efficiently. So we have an integration from Merge Wizard, which allows us to push into OrbitKit. You basically do a search for the products that you want to push up. You can do them individually or in batch. So just before we do that, though, there's a certain amount of things you just need to do before you can push up to OrbitKit. And one of the things I think you mentioned in the previous live is that Merge doesn't have any keywords or tags facilities, whereas most of these other pods do, and therefore we need to decorate what we've got from Merge. We need to decorate that with the keywords or tags, so it can go.
And I think it's great to be doing it now, because I feel like at some point in time, Merge will add something like that. I mean, they have it for KDP, so at some point, I don't understand why they wouldn't have the back-end keywords for Merge. So if they ever do add it, we'll be prepared. We'll have all the keywords ready to go. So it'll be an easy transition if they ever add it.
Yep. Okay, so we have an easy way to do that, really, or to get the basics of it up and running, and that is in this niches table, which again is in the free starter template. So if I just show you the niches table here, you see we've got various sample niches, and these niches have different keywords in them, and you can combine these niches as well to create like what we call a parent-child niche relationship. So we can see for BMX, for example, BMX just has bike, cycle, and BMX, but it also has a parent niche of cycling, so it kind of inherits these additional keywords as well. So the final niche keywords for BMX are all these, and quite quickly, if you build up your niches, obviously some people are in thousands of niches, but some people are focused on particular ones. You'll find that you can get the keywords up and running pretty quickly, and you can reuse ones as well and have kind of this parent relationship. Okay, so let's have a look at our listings and do this for our whale designs. So we go across to the niche column, and we say, do I have a whale niche? No, I don't. So if you hit enter, it will create one for you, and you can then drag that down. You can copy and paste. So we'll just drag that down since we know all these are whales. But if you brought in hundreds of designs or hundreds of products from different niches, I would potentially either do some grouping or a filter and say, right, well, get me all the ones where the title contains whale, get me all the ones where the title contains
That's
dolphin.
what I do, guys. I click on that little magnifying glass in the corner, and I pick a niche, and then I just work on one niche during the day, and add the keywords, add everything, push it to OrbitKit, everything, just one niche. Then it's not so overwhelming. You just tackle one niche a day, and then before you know it, you're done.
Cool. Right, so we added a whale niche there, which creates an empty record in here that's got the word whale in it. We want to put in some keywords for whale here. Mammal, sea, marine, animal, something or other. And we're going to tag that parent niche as nature. So we've got a reasonable amount of kind of niche keywords in already for that. So if we go back to our listings table, we go across to our final keywords, we'll see we've got the keywords there. So that was obviously quick and easy, and if we've got 300 whale designs, then it's going to be straightforward for us to push to get those across and kind of get the keywords generated for them.
Yeah, so let's pause right there for a second. Teresa had asked previously if you add tags to the listings tab or to the designs tab. Really, it's the niches tab, Teresa, so it's a completely separate tab. You go to niches, and then you add the keyword, pick what keywords go with that niche. Once you set it up on the niches tab, it's there forever. You can always edit it if you think of another keyword or if you want to take a keyword away. But going forward, anytime you make a whale t-shirt, you would be able to just click whale and it automatically brings in those keywords that you had previously set up. So actually connecting the niches tab with your listing, there's like a spot in the Airtable where it says niche, and you just type in the word whale and it pulls it.
Yep, and you can combine these as well. So if we wanted to put in funny as well, we get all the funny keywords.
Yes, yes. There's several times where you end up picking more than one niche because it's you have funny, you have maybe it's for moms, and it's also about soccer. Like you would just pick all three of those niches, and then it just has all the keywords come together.
Yep. And if you go down them afterwards and say, right, this is a protest t-shirt, but that's obviously not in there. You could have a protest niche, or you could just put in protest, march, and stuff in tags in here. Whoops.
So guys, that tags is a separate column, and you can add a couple additional words if it's something specific to that design. You could leave it blank, or you could just add a couple more keywords.
Yeah. All right, so that'll take a little while for you to get your catalog up to date with all the
But guys, don't feel like you have to do every single one in one day, because so many people do that and then they just never take action and they never actually push the designs to OrbitKit. So I would seriously pick one niche, whatever is the easiest one for you. If you want to do Halloween shirts, because we're almost to Halloween, just make your Halloween niche, pick a couple keywords for Halloween, and then go on the magnifying glass on your Merch Wizard and search Halloween, and it'll pull up your shirts that have Halloween, and just put Halloween, send it to OrbitKit. Just so that you get started, you see the process today while we're thinking about it and talking about it, and then you can tackle all the other ones later, but just pick one to work on today.
Yeah, I think that's excellent advice. You see, if you can see it working end to end, and you probably queue up, more than your slots for the next few days, won't you? So
yes.
Just do it an inch at a time, probably good. Okay, right, so we've got our listings, and we've got the keywords set for those now. We've created an Orbit account, and we need to then connect Merch Wizard to the Orbit account. And the way you do that is to go to the OrbitKit settings page, and go to the key section in here, click reveal, grab that, and copy it, go to Merch Wizard, and go into here, down to OrbitKit options, and then you just want to paste that over. So I've already got that in there. Hit save.
So this is how you link OrbitKit to Merch Wizard. That's what he's showing right now. So you only have to do this one time. You just take the API key from OrbitKit and you put it in Merch Wizard. It's very, very simple. That's it. So this is just a one-time connecting your Merch Wizard to OrbitKit.
Yep, that's the only thing that we need. And then if you happen to be doing any Facebook Lives or anything like that where you show your key, you can regenerate that pretty quickly.
That's probably happened to you before, right?
I'll regenerate it. Don't be thinking you can get my designs. Not really so, but anyway.
There's a few of mine that people are like, oh, you have your design in the video. And I'm like, whatever. I purposely picked a design that only sold a couple times. I'm like, if you want to copy that design, go for it. Teresa asking, can you start working on your Airtable niche columns before starting OrbitKit? Yes, you can. Just make sure you eventually start OrbitKit. I'm just worried if you push it off, it won't happen. And this is the perfect time to do it because it's right before Q4. So if you just, bite the bullet or whatever expression you want to use and just do it today, it'll be nice to have it done, and it'll get your designs up ready for Q4.
Cool. Right, so then we go to Merch Wizard. Merch Wizard is it's got a pop-up for its Chrome extension here, allows you to search. If I just hit search, it searches for everything in my base, and from there you can do all sorts of stuff, edit the results that have come back, which opens the merch edit page, all these things up here. One of the bits where we're interested in are finding the products and the designs that we want to push over to OrbitKit. So obviously we've only got whales in here, but if you have got thousands of designs, you can use our advanced search to filter it down and say, right, I'm going to just put in a certain tag or something in the Airtable base, and I'm going to just push those ones, or I'm going to push a certain niche. So we could have searched for whale in here and it would have brought these up. So there's different ways to find them, and then you can push them individually, or you can select individual ones here, or you can select all of them to push. So if I just go into one of them here and say, right, this little icon up here is push listing to OrbitKit. So we have the PNG file that was pushed up to Airtable through Merch Wizard. And all we need to do then is basically pass that on to OrbitKit. Just click that button. We can see the tags that we brought in before the march and the protest. And just like that, it has done it. And we can.
That's it, guys. You just push the button.
Open that design now in OrbitKit. And there it is. So we've brought across the title, the description, the tags that we just created. Eventually, we will be looking to incorporate the different languages. I know one or two people have asked about that recently.
That's an interesting idea. Cool.
And then, yeah, that's pretty much the work done from the.
You just have to select the archetype, right?
Yeah.
Then you're ready to go. So if you scroll down, you'll see the archetype. You select what you want, and then there you go. It's pushing it.
Yeah. So I've actually pushed this design up before. So in that situation, what you can do is you can, there's a setting on Merch Wizard whether you want it to overwrite your tags and the text field, which I had set to true, so it updated them. And then that after that, it will update these what are called exhibits in the OrbitKit world and push those out there. So if I click on these, we should still be able to see some of these out there in the wild. So our single design gone up onto Cafe Press, onto all these different products. Redbubble again on multiple different products. Whoops, there's a white t-shirt. That's not going to do well. So yeah, you just need to set up the blueprint for each of these, and then you're away. It's really very straightforward and simple to do.
So now show them how to do it in bulk, because that's what I was for some reason I missed that the first time around, and then I was doing it and I was like, oh my gosh, there's a bulk option. Yeah. So if you like, especially if you do my idea of just tackling one niche at a time, you can also search by that niche in the Merch Wizard Chrome extension, and all you have to do is search by standard. That's what I do. I only push my standard shirts because you don't want to duplicate the designs. So I do a search in OrbitKit for the niche and standard shirt, and then I select all, and you can push it all to OrbitKit at once. Right?
Great. Okay, yeah. So this is what we do. You find the shirts that you want or the products that you want to push up, and then hit push to OrbitKit. It's going to take us to another screen, and it's going to say, right, I'm pending this push here.
Isn't that so cool, guys? It's doing it all. It's pushing all of those at once. So if you guys work on your Halloween shirts today, it just takes, once you figure out a couple keywords for Halloween, it's so fast to push every single one of your Halloween shirts to OrbitKit today.
Yep. So this is going to be, what, 15 of them, but some of them are obviously duplicated. They share a common design. That's why the design's coming back the same, because I think Jeff mentioned earlier that OrbitKit have got it, well, clicked off that. Sorry about they've got a system where it detects.
Yeah, it's a really good system to help detect duplicates. But on my end, just to try to prevent sending duplicates, I always just push the standard t-shirt because it helps me remember, like, did I push this to OrbitKit yet? It's like always, it's always the standard that I push.
Yeah. Okay. So those will all get pushed along, and then you can click Open Designs to open all of them in OrbitKit. You can push up to 300 at a time, and obviously if you click Open Designs in OrbitKit,
real quick, Teresa's saying I have almost 600 Halloween designs. It doesn't matter the number, it just matters how many would have the same keywords. So you might want to, depending on how the designs are, you might have some that you want to be just witch Halloween or just like drinking Halloween or something. There might be various niches in there, but whatever shares the same keywords, it's one click to push all of those with the same keywords over to OrbitKit. So if you have 20 different Halloween witch shirts, it should have the same keywords. You just push those 20 at one time. It's not like one at a time. It's just a bulk thing. You just push them all over at once.
Yeah. Okay, so here's our stuff. Actually, we can make this more efficient just looking at it, because now that a lot of the things are going to be created in multi-product creator, there's no point in pushing the same design over. So we'll just I'll make some coding changes to check if that's already been pushed over or not from our side. But yeah, that's it. And so you can do about 300 at a time.
Show them what it looks like. So like, let's say you can't remember if you pushed it to OrbitKit or not. Can you show them on the Chrome extension what it looks like with the little like spaceship thing next to it?
Yeah. So I do a search now.
See the little rocket ship right there?
Mm-hmm.
That means it's already been pushed to OrbitKit. So you can easily see what designs have been pushed and what designs haven't.
Yeah. And you can see it goes orange here as well, doesn't it? And that's powered by a field in your Airtable base. If you were going to wanting to do any filtering in here, it's this uploaded to field. So you can say afterwards, right, I only want to see, do a filter to say where uploaded to does not contain, has none of.
Oh, see, that's getting fancy. I've never done that.
Yeah, so you can do that and say, right, these ones haven't gone up for whatever reason.
Nice.
Okay.
Elba's saying mine doesn't seem to have that. So Elba, I had that problem too, where I couldn't figure out how to get the rocket ship to show up. Can you show them one more time? Like, there's a step at the end where you say like upload it to OrbitKit or something. Don't you have to push something?
Oh, right. That is when if you're using MerchWizard to keep a track of the other pods. So if you were going directly to Redbubble, so this was pre-OrbitKit really, you could, if we pick a particular record, let's find this Save the Whales protest one.
Mm-hmm.
If you were on the upload page, I'm already on one. If you were on the upload page for Redbubble, you go through.
Right there. You push that little green, yeah, right there.
Yeah, so you pick where you've uploaded it to. So right, I've uploaded that to Redbubble. Click
and
that.
then you push that. So try pushing that little green thing after you push it to OrbitKit, and it should come up and say, it should have that rocket show up. If it doesn't, just message me after and I can walk you through it, or message Rick, we'll help you. But
it should automatically pick it up. What I think some people, because this was the niches table was added afterwards, after several months of us being live, so people had to upgrade their bases, and we've got a knowledge base article on how to do that. If you're an existing MerchWizard user with an older base, or alternatively, you can just get a copy of the latest base template, which will.
Okay. So I had the older base, so it didn't go automatically for me, but it does show up if I click that little green thing. It does does show up.
Common problem with that is that people put OrbitKit with a lowercase k in it, and it's case sensitive, so it doesn't.
Oh, that's what it was. Thank you for reminding me. Okay, so Elva, check if you're in that column, if it says OrbitKit at all. As long as it says OrbitKit, the next thing to check is does it say Orbit and then Kit with a capital K. Because that, I'm glad you reminded me, because that was my problem, where it didn't, mine wasn't capitalized, and so it wasn't showing up right. And then once I capitalized it, then it starts showing up now.
Yeah. Okay, and I guess something that is also worth mentioning is if you have a load of things that talk about t-shirts and stuff and mention the product types in the text itself, then that's not ideal to be putting out to all the other products, because you'll be describing.
Rick, real quick, can you go back to that extension just so we can show Elva real quick, because there's probably other people that have this problem too. Yeah, if you just click on the extension and then click on that column to show. Okay, so that's what we're talking about right there where Rick is clicking. There's a whole list of all different platforms. OrbitKit should be one of those. So if yours doesn't say OrbitKit, you have to add it. And if it does say OrbitKit, double check if it's a capital K or a lowercase k. Let's say it's not listed correctly. How do they add it in there?
Well, it should be in here. It will appear in here, okay, but it won't appear in the base.
Oh, it won't appear in the base. Okay. Okay, so you go back to your listing tab on your base, scroll over, and then until you find the column that says uploaded to, and then look and see how it's listed in your uploaded to column. And if it's not listed correctly there, then you can just click on edit and list it correctly there.
Yeah, and you can add more stuff to this if you wanted to. You can add your own options if you want to, if you push them.
So if somebody, what base number was it that it's already in there correctly? Is it base like 5 or something, or?
I don't know about the version.
You don't remember? Okay.
I would say if we went off the knowledge base article, so there is a knowledge base. Click through the website, and then there is upgrading your starter base to 4.0.1. So yeah, mid to late February, and this tells you all
perfect, guys. So that's where it is. If you've had this for a long time, can you show them again how to get there?
Yeah, so on the little menu on the right-hand side of the website, there's a knowledge base.
On the website. So the website is Merge Wizard app.
Yeah, mergewizard.app.
Mergewizard.app. So you go to the website, and then you go to
the right-hand side. Yep, click knowledge base.
Knowledge base.
And then, yeah, I'll just go back to the start of that. So you get the kind of getting started, the high-level categories, troubleshooting, frequently asked questions, questions on Airtable, on the different features that we have, basically. And one of those categories that we have is about upgrading your base from an older starter base version to the newest one. So anyone who's new doesn't need to worry about this, but if you have a base that is kind of pre-February,
pre-February, okay, that's a good thing to do.
Then you can follow that. It takes about 15 minutes to go through, but it does work.
Yeah, and I went through that. I updated everything, but the only thing I did wrong was I did OrbitKit with a lowercase k. So yeah, just make sure it's capital. Great, so that helped. Elva found it. Thank you. And then Christine's asking if you went through how to set up archetypes in OrbitKit. We actually went through how to set up archetypes in OrbitKit in the live that we did with Jeff. So that was, you'll see 2 different lives. So we did one with Rick, and then we did one with Jeff. To connect Merge Wizard to OrbitKit, all you have to do is put the API key in, which we also showed. That's it.
Okay.
Oh, Teresa's saying mine is 2.2. Uh-oh, we got to update your Merge Wizard. That's an old one. What are you up to now? You're at 6 or something?
Whatever it is. We have a hidden field in here, which will show us 5.4.
5.4. So yeah, so Teresa, definitely find that article that he just showed you. You go to merchwizard.app, click on knowledge base, and then click on updating your base.
Yeah.
And it'll walk you through what to do.
And if you have any problems or anyone has any problems, just reach out, create a support ticket, or if you're nervous about it, we can do a screen share and walk you through it as well.
Oh, thank you, Rick. That's awesome.
Well.
There was one other question I just want to make sure we didn't pass over. I think Ian asked a question. Let's see. Way back. Ian. I can't find it. It was about, oh, here we go. Darn it, I lost it again. He's asking about Merge Wizard. Would you, oh my gosh, I completely lost the chat somehow. Do you see it? Are you able to see the chat? Or Ian, if you're still in, just ask it again. It had to do with, let me remember, if you can find reviews easily. So I think there's a button to push to update sales. He was wondering if there's ever going to be an update to Merge Wizard where you could just push something to update reviews instead of having to like go through and update every single design.
Well, the reviews are driven by the product page, so we have to open the product page to grab the reviews. There's no kind of back-end API scraping that's going on, so we probably can't do that in a click. And yeah, in the Merch Wizard world, we show what the
I finally found the comment. Here it is.
In the Merch Wizard world, we show what's happening, and it pops open the tabs in the window so you can see where we're going and what we're scraping. I know some other tools do it all behind the scenes, but I think it's kind of important to be able to see what's going on, and if for whatever reason Amazon might say you've done too many requests, in a short period, you then want to change your page size or back off for an hour or so, but it doesn't really happen on Merch Wizard, even at their highest settings, but it's just always good to be able to see what Amazon's responding with and act accordingly, really. Anyway, there's two other things I was wanting to mention. I don't know if you've got
real
more.
Quick, sorry, Christine was saying, is the link for the live session with Jeff in the Facebook group? Was that recently? Yes, it's in the Facebook group. It was at 10 a.m. I'll tag you in it, or if someone could tag Christine in the link from the live so she can find it. And then Teresa is saying she's worried that she's going to screw up something if she tries to update a base. Can you explain how to set up a backup base? Because that's really good to do every so often, is to set up a backup base.
Yeah, so you've got, if you click here to go back to the main menu in Airtable, mine's probably got hundreds of bases in there, so I won't scare you with that, but you can do it straight here. You just go duplicate base, and then when you hit that, you're going to say which workspace you want it to go into, hit duplicate base, and it will back everything up from there. So dead easy to do from here or from the Airtable menu itself.
Yeah, set up a duplicate, Teresa, and then you don't have to worry at all.
Yeah. That is actually also in the knowledge base article. So back up your base. Here we go. So it walks you through every step.
Yeah,
Phil from the Merch Wizard team took a long time to create this and create the GIFs, so did a really good job, and a lot of people, the majority have gone through it no problem, so shouldn't be anything to be feared. All right.
Perfect.
So there's two things that I thought I would touch on as well with the integration. I started, I mentioned it before, in that if you have product-specific keywords in your title, which you will have from the old product days, the old single product days, and obviously from anything that's been appended by Amazon as well for the multi ones. Now, we don't want those going across ideally into the OrbitKit world, because this is a Save the Whales protest design. It's not necessarily a t-shirt, or that thumbnail is, but we want the design and the words that describe it only. We don't want anything that says t-shirt in there. So what we do is, as part of pushing the listing data across, we cleanse or replace the keywords in there that discuss anything to do with product types. And these are configurable, and I'll show you what it is that I'm talking about in here. These text replacement options. So we say, right, let's just concentrate on find and replace. If any of these words are found, so t-shirt, sweatshirt, hoodies, pullover hoodies, things like that, it's going to replace those words with one of these words, and it cycles through, so not every replacement is the same. And again, these are completely configurable, but that will stop your product specific
configurable, guys. It just means we can add our own words, or like some people use different words than other people. So if you like do nudie, which I had never even heard of that word, it means like just a sweatshirt. If you have words like that, you can add your own words, and it will remove those.
Yeah. So by the time it lands in OrbitKit, there shouldn't be any t-shirts, T-dash shirts, or hoodies or anything like that in there. They should be replaced with these generic terms.
And that's what's so awesome. You had already set this up with the OrbitKit integration, and then sure enough, Merch does the multi-uploader. And so you already had a way of taking out all of those category-specific words. So
yeah.
We were already ahead of the curve, because now our listings already didn't have those words. So it's really helpful.
Probably worth mentioning really that with the new types of things like raglams and stuff like that, that you should probably be putting those in there as well, pending an upgrade for Merch Wizard. You know, if you were doing this, you'd be putting in raglams and tank top and stuff like that, so it would find those and get rid of them in case it's pushing from these. Okay, so it does the text replacement for you as well. And I think one final thing I thought would be worth mentioning is that if you have your stuff, if you've got more designs than slots on Amazon, and you're in, say, tier 25, but you've got 100 designs ready to go, there's nothing to stop you having those designs in the Merch Wizard world first, and pushing those to OrbitKit whilst you're waiting for additional slots on Merch by Amazon.
That's huge, guys. I just want to repeat that. If you are maxed out on slots, you can still put them in Merch Wizard and push it to all these other platforms. So you still can have your designs ready for Q4 everywhere. That's really huge.
Yeah. So as part of Merch Wizard's listing functionality, if we have this new listings table, I put in some flamingo ones in here that just should have the basics information in here. A bit rough and ready, so they shouldn't have t-shirt in there and stuff like that, but don't worry about that. And let's get rid of that. There we go. So with these, when you go on to list something on Merch by Amazon, you can use the new listings table to populate it in using the create page. Damn it, I knew that would happen. Right, let me log in. Client, off screen even. Right, that we come. Right, so you can then go onto Merch Wizard and go to new listings instead of live listings, and it finds the listings that you've got, and then you can select the one that you're interested in listing, and you can see that the text is being replaced in the multi-product create screen.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
So you can have your designs ready to go. So whenever your slots open, they'll be ready. Alva was asking, but then we need to update them in Merch. Yes. I think if your design was uploaded previously on a, like, let's say a long sleeve shirt, and it says long sleeve shirt, I think you can leave it for now because it's just on that one product. But if you ever edit the product, it'll automatically like pull it up into this multi-uploader thing. And then at the top, you can say replace keywords. Can you show them that little button? Yeah, right there. So whenever you edit something, it'll have that option to replace keywords, because then at that point, now it's part of the multi-uploader, and it'll have all the other products.
Yeah, so we can show what actually happens here if I just put in some sample product types in there. So we've got beautiful flamingo crown t-shirt hoodie. This is what happens. The same kind of routine runs when we push to OrbitKit. So these product types should be replaced when we hit that replace keyword with print or generic terms like print and graphic.
You can decide what words too. So if you don't like it to say print or graphic, you can pick whatever word you like.
Yeah.
And it'll automatically change it to that word.
Yeah.
Teresa's saying, huh? Okay, so instead of saying long sleeve t-shirt, if you want it to say something, it'll replace long sleeve t-shirt with design. Design's the one I like, but it could be any word you want. So it could say print. So flamingo print, flamingo design, flamingo graphic, instead of flamingo long sleeve shirt. She says, what if I don't want a word at all? You can replace it with blank, right? Or not?
Yes, in the options area, we've got the text replacement. The first thing is to delete. So we get rid of anything to do with long sleeves. So we're left with just t-shirts. So that's an option, one thing that you can add to in there if you have additional things. So
it's nice to have some kind of filler word, Elva, just because, like, let's say in your bullets you said, this is a perfect t-shirt to give as a gift, or this t-shirt is great, whatever. It's in a sentence. So if you just have it blank, it's going to be like this perfect, like it's nice to have a filler word. So if you just say design, this design makes a great gift. It's nice to have that filler word so that your sentences still make sense. So I would design, so far for me, like it feels like design works for pretty much all of my listings, but any word that you want could go there.
Yeah. So I think it's also worth mentioning, and I'm coming off on multiple tangents, but there used to be save as draft on the single products, and there isn't anymore. So if you are at tier 25 and you've got designs kind of ready to go, but you're either listing them and storing them in a spreadsheet somewhere, or you can store them actually in the new listings table in here and just copy and paste and start creating all your data and put the actual PNGs in here in Airtable ready to list. So when you do get the slots, you can list them quickly and easily on here. So the way you do that is just you find in your listings the design that you want. You can download the PNG there, or PC users can use this copy PNG URL. If you do that, you can then just paste it in as you click upload, and that should upload it directly without you having to do the download. But if you have done the download,
it's so easy, guys. Like when I was going through, when they added new products, so they added tank tops, they added V-necks. What I did is I went into Merch Wizard, I sorted by my best-selling designs, and then I just went one by one from best-selling designs to next best-selling all the way down, and I just added it to all the new products. So it just made it so easy. I didn't have to go through like folders of designs and try to find it. All I had to do was just search on Merch Wizard for Flamingo design, upload it, and I got it on all the other products. So it really saved me a lot of time.
Well, we can then download the using Resizer to hoodies. You can get them onto pop sockets as well and use that, but that's outside of the today's discussion, I think, isn't it? But that's how I use it anyway.
Feel free, if you're new to Merch Wizard, we had Rick on twice, so we have 2 different videos where he goes through all the different features of Merch Wizard.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of videos on my channel as well. If you search Helen Kinson, you'll find my channel, and there's a lot of how-to videos about Merch Wizard.
But yeah, so what I was saying at the start, when I started off on this tangent 15 minutes ago, whatever it was, we can push from new listings to OrbitKit as well. So you can push from here now. I'm not sure if this is a slightly older base, we might get a problem here. Let's see. We're going to need the tags. I'm just thinking about what can go wrong. So if I just do some flamingo tags in here. Inspiration. I think that should probably do us. You can paste these down. I mean, I should have just used my flamingo niche that I was talking about earlier, shouldn't I? That would have been the thing to do. So we should be able to get rid of that now. I'll just refresh these records in the extension, hit push to OrbitKit, cross my fingers.
I love that. That's amazing. So no excuses, guys. Even if you haven't tiered up yet, you could get all your designs on all the other platforms. And you can push it to Printful, just like Teresa was saying. You can push it to Printful, and then from Printful, you can set up Amazon. So you don't even have to go through merch. You can have a Printful Amazon integration. And so then you still get Amazon's traffic or Etsy's traffic or wherever you want to connect Printful to, your own Shopify store, whatever you want. So yeah, it's great.
All right. So we can see those designs have made it over now and are in the ecosystem. So as you say, you just need to set the archetype here for it to then start queuing it up. Go into your dashboard and show you the stats to say it's waiting upload and eventually make its way across. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thank you so much, Rick. This has been so helpful. And guys, did I answer everyone's question? If your question hasn't been answered, just post it again. I may have missed it. But this is so great.
Okay, I'll stop sharing my screen and bring this over so I can see any questions.
I think we pretty much covered everything. And I really appreciate you guys watching both lives and asking all these questions. Thank you so much, Teresa and Alva and everyone else that's been watching. It really helped us go through it to have those questions so we didn't forget to cover anything. So thank you, Rick. I'm so happy that you thought of like connecting this to OrbitKit because that was something I hadn't even, I guess I had kind of thought about it, but not really. Like it really makes it so much easier. So
yeah, well, I think as Jeff mentioned earlier, as a programmer, when you have to do something tediously and repetitive, filling something in or doing something, you just think, how can I avoid this, and how can we help other people avoid it?
So nice, because I think a problem entrepreneurs fall into is they're such hard workers that they just plow through. And it's like they don't think about like, wow, there's probably a much faster way to do this. Yeah. So thank you I'm so glad we have some programmers in our midst to help us not do all this repetitive work. So, all right, well, thank you so much. I think that's pretty much it. I mean, both of these, we ended perfectly 1 hour. It's fantastic. Just if you think of anything, feel free to share whatever you want in the group. And that's it. Thank you guys all for being here. And thank you so much, Rick.
You're welcome. All right, thanks for having me.
All right, bye, guys.